Good afternoon, I'm Ren Wadsworth, and this is your nonstop local news update. Missoula County has been ordered to keep surveillance of ballot sites. Montana 4th District Judge John W. Larson ordered to keep electronic video surveillance of areas where ballots are tabulated for the upcoming midterm election. The order comes after a lawsuit was brought forth by a member of the Crime Prevention Research Center in an attempt to diminish voter fraud and missing ballots. 1 week to go until Election Day, and some big names are hitting the campaign trail. Candidates in key battleground states are making their final pitch to voters and eliciting help from some big names. Former President Barack Obama is set to stump for Democrats in Las Vegas tonight and Arizona tomorrow, two states critical to the party's path to retain control of the U.S. Senate. President Joe Biden is traveling to Florida, where he will rally with Senate hopeful Val Demings and the state's Democratic candidate for governor Charlie Crist. And former Vice President Mike Pence is headed to Georgia, where he will campaign with Governor Brian Kemp, a candidate not endorsed by former President Trump. Pre-election voting is surpassing 2018 levels. More than 21 million ballots have been cast across 48 states, including nearly 2.8 million early ballots in Florida and more than 1.6 million in Georgia. This morning, we're breaking down what's on the ballot for the upcoming November 8th election, looking at Constitutional Amendment number 48. The initiative would amend the Montana Constitution to explicitly include electronic data and communications in search and seizure protections. ForwardMontana.org says a no vote means that you support law enforcement officers being able to access a person's electronic data without a search warrant. A yes vote means that you think law enforcement officers should have to obtain a search warrant in order to access a person's electronic data, and that you support a constitutional amendment to enforce this rule. In September, in the state of Montana, Vers Mefford defendant Bradley Mefford agreed that his parole officer could read a Facebook Messenger thread on his phone. The parole officer also searched Mefford's digital photographs. That search turned up unlawful contraband. Mefford was charged, but Montana courts said the evidence wasn't usable because Mefford hasn't consented to having his photos looked at.
As the law stands and as the Supreme Court articulated in that case that you referenced, the State v. Mefford case, if a probation officer, a law enforcement officer wanted to search a cell phone, they would need a warrant or a valid warrant exception in order to do so. No more so than if, a law enforcement officer showed up on my doorstep and asked to enter my home to search my home, I would ask them to show me a warrant. If they showed up on my doorstep and said, I would like to search your cell phone, I would say, show me the warrant.
We'll continue to keep you updated with what you need to know going into Election Day next week as your election headquarters. And that's all for now. We'll have more news updates for you as the day goes on, so make sure to check back in for more. I'm Ren Wadsworth. Thanks for tuning in to your nonstop local news.